The Bravo universe just exploded again, and if you missed BravoCon Live 2025, buckle up, because things are shifting inside the Real Housewives of Orange County in a way no one saw coming. Andy Cohen stood on that stage, looked Vicki Gunvalson straight in the eye, and asked the original OG of the OC to return for the milestone season 20. The crowd lost their minds. People were screaming, standing on chairs, and one woman even burst into tears. And then Andy did the unthinkable. He handed Vicki a literal orange, the symbol of full-time housewife power. And she held onto it like it was the holy grail for the rest of the weekend. But while fans took that as confirmation that Vicki was officially back, she had her own version of reality. On her podcast, she reminded everyone that a verbal yes at BravoCon does not equal a signed contract. In fact, she hasn't even seen one yet. Her attorney told her to sit tight because something is definitely in the works, but not finalized. So right now, the only confirmed casting move for season 20 is Andy's very public request. It's a cliffhanger that has every Bravo viewer on edge, because if Vicki returns, it changes absolutely everything for the OC. Imagine the nostalgia, the drama, the chaos, the alliances, the enemies. A full-circle season built around the woman who started it all. Fans are already speculating, will Bravo revive beloved past cast members? Will rivals reunite? Will old wounds reopen? Or will producers shock the fandom with a fan-favorite wildcard twist? Right now, season 20 could go in 10 different directions, and every single one of them is explosive. But while the housewives are trying to figure out who's holding oranges next year, another Bravo storyline just took an unexpected turn, one that fans never expected to hear, especially not from Dr. Terry Dubrow. Because on Heather and Terry's podcast, things went from playful to downright shocking in seconds. Heather casually joked about Terry's bromances with other Bravo husbands, but Terry didn't just laugh it off. He leaned right into it, hard. When Heather asked him if he meant Eddie Judge, Terry corrected her immediately. No, Joe Gorga. He said it with zero hesitation, and then he doubled down, calling Joe the coolest dude ever, while also listing Eddie as another favorite. Heather couldn't hold back her laughter. "Can we not start those rumors?" she begged. "Everyone always thinks you're gay. I don't think anyone says Joe Gorga is gay. They say you and Eddie." Terry wasn't even slightly embarrassed. He came right back with, "I'm not gay, but if I were, I'd be gay with them, and I'd be gay with Joe Gorga too." Heather practically fell out of her chair. Terry Dubrow, one of the most respected surgeons on TV, just casually announced his dream Bravo bromance like it was nothing. And honestly, it might be the funniest Real Housewives of Orange County adjacent moment of the year. These Bravo husband bromances aren't new. Mauricio Umansky and PK Kemsley basically invented the concept, but Terry's confession instantly lit up social media. Fans couldn't tell if he was joking, confessing, trolling, or just being Terry. Meanwhile, Heather was trying desperately to steer the conversation back before the fandom began diagnosing their marriage like it's a reunion episode. And just when the laughter died down, listeners noticed something else. Terry sounded like a man who might be ready to stir the pot on season 20 more than any housewife. And if Vicki returns, Terry and Heather could find themselves in the middle of storylines they did not sign up for. As the dust settles from Terry's unexpectedly candid revelation, fans are beginning to wonder whether these Bravo bromances might actually play a role in shaping the future dynamic of season 20. Because if there's one thing Real Housewives of Orange County has proven over the years, it's that friendships between the husbands often expose cracks in the relationships between the wives. And Heather Dubrow knows this better than anyone. Even as she laughed Terry off during their podcast, viewers could sense that familiar tension under the surface, the kind that has defined some of the most iconic OC feuds. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Bravo executives are analyzing every reaction, every trend, every spike in online conversation, and Vicki's potential return is already dominating them all. What's unusual this time is how open Andy Cohen has been about wanting her back. That public gesture wasn't just a nostalgic BravoCon stunt, it was a strategic move. Season 20 isn't just another season, it's a milestone, a legacy marker, and Bravo wants a storyline big enough to match it. Producers have reportedly discussed leaning into a full circle arc for the cast, bringing back the raw, messy, unfiltered energy that made Orange County the blueprint for every Housewives franchise that followed. That means former cast members, former enemies, and former friendships long buried under accusations, tequila-fueled screaming matches, and tearful reunion couches may suddenly find themselves pulled back into the spotlight. And Vicki is the key to unlocking that chaotic magic. She is the wild card, the spark plug, the original storm that turned the OC into a cultural phenomenon. If she signs that contract, and all signs point to eventually yes, it opens the door to returning old-school power players, shifting alliances, and a season fueled by decades of shared history. But while the fan base waits on the edge of their seats for confirmation, the rest of the cast is feeling the pressure. You can already sense the tension in their interviews, podcasts, and social media posts. Some are excited, some are nervous, and some are terrified about how their storylines might shift the moment Vicki blasts through the door. Heather, in particular, is in an unusual position. Her polished, calculated presence has always been a contrast to Vicki's unfiltered energy. And with Terry's recent podcast confessions creating a buzz of their own, the Dubrow storyline is shaping up to be more vulnerable, more unpredictable, and possibly more dramatic than Heather ever intended. Producers are quietly monitoring which housewives can carry the emotional weight of a milestone season. Who can deliver personal developments? Who can ignite compelling conflicts? Who can handle the heat of Vicki's return without melting on camera? And more importantly, who will crack under the pressure? And then there's the question everyone is afraid to ask. What if Bravo brings back even more than just Vicki? What if we see surprise cameos, unresolved confrontations, past relationships revisited, or one of those legendary mid-season shocks that Bravo fans never see coming? Season 20 has the potential to redefine the entire franchise, to remind the audience why the OC is the beating heart of the Housewives universe. Because beneath the glam, the drama, the screaming matches, and the tequila shots, there's something that has always made Real Housewives of Orange County different: history. Deep, tangled, messy, unforgettable history. And with BravoCon's surprise orange moment, Terry's hilariously unexpected honesty, and the cast already feeling the shift, the countdown to Season 20 is officially on. With that, thank you for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Bravo's latest chaos, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This next season is already promising legendary drama, and you won't want to miss a single update.